All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media, and my name is Judson Powell. Okay, I want to continue to talk a little bit about spirituality, but first I want to hit something up about Juneteenth. One of my friends on Facebook had some, they have actually a Juneteenth ice cream, and it was made by Walmart. So we were talking last night. I'm not so sure that I agree with making Juneteenth ice cream and all that kind of stuff, because it was just strange, you know, the way it just popped up. And I mean, it popped up on my feed one day, and I was like, Juneteenth ice cream. And once again, I know I hate to beat a dead horse, but once again, that's cultural appropriation. They are stealing our culture or trying to influence our culture. I'm not necessarily like a big fan of Juneteenth. I didn't find out about Juneteenth until like the early 90s when I worked, you know, in radio in Denver at the fabulous KDKO, owned by Mr. Walker. So I'm a black man. But KDKO, you know, that was the first time I ever realized or celebrated Juneteenth. All right, so enough about Juneteenth. If you feel some kind of way about it, please, you know, leave me a note in the comments or hit me on Instagram in my DMs, whatever. Okay, thank you. All right, so I want to continue to talk about relationships, because it seems like that's the thing everybody is, you know, everybody's trying to talk about relationships and stuff like that. But here's the thing, and this is where our relationships and African spirituality come into play. And why do I say that? I say that because those principles within spirituality and also occupation of your mind and your whole mental is based on that. And I know it's hard to think about it like that, but here's the thing, like astrology. Let's give an example. So, for example, in astrology, you could have an astrologer do your charts to see if you're compatible. The stars and the planets and the moons and everything like that, they all will tell you whether or not you are compatible with your mate. I know some people have been married a long time, and, you know, or been together a long time or whatever, but a lot of it, you know, has to do with the stars and how they were aligned. And some people are just lucky that all the stars lined up for their union. But there are a whole lot of other people that the stars didn't line up. But if you had an astrologer, you would have known that. And remember, if y'all remember, like Nancy Reagan, y'all remember Nancy Reagan? Nancy Reagan had an astrologer. She didn't make her and Ronald Reagan didn't make a move without consulting with their astrologer. So that's it. So you can avoid, and it doesn't just work with romantic relationships or with relationships that are already in existence. You know, it works for all kinds of stuff. It works for business relationships, because a lot of people, you know, just like when you roll up on somebody and you're just like, oh, I don't like this person. I don't really like this person because of such and such and such and such. But it's a spiritual thing. You don't vibe with that person. Y'all are not vibrating on the same frequency, and because y'all not vibrating on the same frequency, then there's gonna be clashes. You know, and even when I meditate, what I do is, you know, I turn on music that has the amount of vibration that I need to balance my chakras. Like I'm losing weight, but I know that, you know, that's not bad for me. If I lose too much, yeah, that's bad for me. But as long as a meal will sustain me or whatever, then I'm good. You understand? All right. So those are some of the things, and then we have, you know, we can look at certain signs, and a lot of people believe that is what the Last Supper, the painting, the Last Supper painting. They believe that that's what it was about. It was about the separation of the signs, you know, fire, water, etc. And then, you know that there are certain signs or people that you're not compatible with. So when you get those negative vibrations or negative feelings from them, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad person. What it means is that you and that person are not compatible. All right. And there's going to be people like right off the bat that you're not compatible with. People right off the bat, they're like, hey, I don't like this person or whatever. So we do know that happens. And then you look at other things like yoga, like if older people, you know, practice yoga. Even, I mean, I'm saying you can practice all your life, but here's the thing: if you practice yoga, then you end up being a lot more flexible, being able to withstand things in your bodies. And the other thing, and it's not you know, hard on you. It's not hard on your body. All right, so it's easy on your body to take these positions or whatever. I know nowadays they got that hot yoga, you know, so that's like the thing. Well, here it is. Here in Arizona, it's like the hot yoga. You go in, you know, the room is like 150 degrees, and you sweat everything. You do all these yoga positions, and you do them quickly. You know, not sure that that's necessarily what, you know, what the ancestors had in mind, but it exists, and it's good for you. I guess any exercise is good for you. That's what my doctor tells me. It's like any exercise is good, is a good thing. It's a good thing for you. All right, so look at these disciplines that people constantly call evil and stuff like that. They're not evil. How is yoga? How is stretching your body? How is stretching your body evil? Or, you know, it just not. It's not evil. You know, and even people, you got to understand, like within the circle and the balance, and you know that everything is balanced. Everything has an equal or opposite. Everything. So yeah. So and so that's why I keep teaching that it's not sin. Sin has nothing to do with it. It's good versus evil. And it's funny because last night my wife was telling me about this guy that they captured in his 90s, and he had been this is like molesting children his like entire life. He died in his 90s. Don't know exactly the one day. I can't think about what it was, but he was literally, I mean, this was wild. He was literally having children so that he could have sex with them. So he was their father. They were birthed or whatever. He took them. They, you know, they constantly raped them and did all kinds of stuff to them, and then killed them, and then left them, you know, left them. And this guy had this guy had no strings attached. He was completely off the grid. They had been looking for this guy for years and years and years and years. And finally they found him, you know, through DNA. It wasn't necessarily, but it was good police work. And it was great that the coroner that autopsied 3 of the young kids' bodies, it was great that he had enough foresight, because you talk about he was in the 1940s. He started this stuff in the 1940s. And so this medical examiner was smart enough to take locks of their hair, put them in plastic bags, and put them with the other materials that went in the investigation. So yeah, So that's the thing. So you got to understand all of this stuff is connected, and then the final thing I want to talk about is chosen people, and so now that we got all these Hebrew Israelites running around and people this, that, and the other thing, but I want y'all to really think with me. See, the thing about being spiritual is you have to think outside the box. The thing about being spiritual is that the Spirit will guide you and lead you to do whatever you have to do or whatever, right? And all of this stuff about chosen people is crazy. So you mean to tell me that they made Asian, so all the Asians, say Chinese, what, 1 in every 5 persons on earth is Chinese? So do you really believe that the Most High would make that many people and not choose them? Same thing with Africa. Africa, you know, is completely populated, but only the people that were taken from Africa to America are chosen, according to this Hebrew Israelite junk and the Bible junk. It's all junk, and people are like believing in it, and the thing is that I believe is almost like gang mentality. You know, you see them in costumes and they got tassels and all of this stuff, and it's funny because so you really believe, like all the people, the Aborigines and everybody, so you believe that everybody on the continent of Australia, everybody that's looking, and everybody that was, you know, in South America, you know, we got so many different, you know, people or whatever scattered in the diaspora all over the world, right? Dry. But yeah, so you got all of these people, right? You got all of these people, but yet and still, God is gonna just take this little minutia, and that's His chosen people. And the whole 144,000, you know, sealed to be in heaven, and that's it. So I used to, when I was a Christian pastor, and my thing was I would always get these Jehovah's Witnesses, because Jehovah's Witnesses believe in that too. And so they would always come up to me, oh brother, you know, blah da 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 da, and I was like, yeah, well, I take everything, you know, at face value and whatever. But as I continued to study and whatever, I started to say to them when they walked up different things and asked them questions about it. So anyway, this man and his wife, they walk up to me, and so they're like trying to get me to, you know, to be a Jehovah's Witness. And so I asked dude, I said, well, I got a question for you. If there's 139,999 people and there's only one slot left, and you and your wife die in a car accident together, then who gets in? Who's gonna go to heaven, right? You know, are you really gonna step aside and let your wife go to heaven? You know, and he didn't ask. The funny part about it is he didn't answer the question because he couldn't. You better not answer that question, because you'll get thrown out the house. You'll be in divorce court before you know it. So you better not answer. If it's only one slot left, you know, say, I don't know. I don't know. But chosen people, that's a ridiculous concept. All people are human. You know, black, brown, red, yellow, you know. Jesse Jackson said it like that back in the day. But all people are chosen, y'all. Stop running around here telling people, you know, because the Bible said this and that we're chosen. You are not chosen. Not over anybody else. Everybody on this bad boy is spinning around on this rock is equal. And the only thing that divides us is our talents and the things that we do with our talents. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that separates us. Talent. Or no talent. Because, hey, you know, I tell everybody, hey, the fastest 15 minutes is up. That's what I tell everybody. Hit the like button, subscribe button, hit all the buttons. I love you.